So marketing is going to capture these 5 pieces. Marketing is all about awareness. You can be the best at what you do, but if nobody knows about you, there's no point in getting up and going to work every day. Communication. We have to communicate, distribute information, educate, and we can do that through our websites, through our blogs, through our Twitter accounts, through Facebook, through podcasting, any or all. And at our agency at Web Marketing Therapy, we talk about multitasking marketing, where you don't just have to blog. Your blog can feed into your Twitter account. It can feed into your LinkedIn account. All of us at the agency, our LinkedIn profiles have our blog feeding into it. So if Kylie blogs or Way blogs or Nikki blogs, my profile is getting updated, and so we're able to get our message out in multiple ways, because the reality is your target audience will not use your marketing distribution in the same way. So even if you have like the really coolest, awesomest video on your About page, put it somewhere else. Repurpose this stuff. Recycling is really cool for the environment. It's also really good for your marketing. Find ways to communicate, educate. Also, by being an educator, you can really set yourself apart. Social media is all about trust. And in tough economic times, we're a little leery about who we work with. If you can educate and have people trust you through your message, that's powerful. Connection. Social media is all about connection. That is the nucleus of your marketing. Your products or services may be more expensive than the competition, but if you're a pleasure to work with, or there's value and there's some relationship, extremely powerful, and that's really the big nucleus of what social media is all about, as well as good service. When we had the fires in Santa Barbara, people in Santa Barbara were going to Twitter. They were going to Twitter to get information. I was teaching the first fire we had, I was teaching at UCSB, and all of a sudden my class there, they all got really kind of, their faces went down. I'm like, is my lecture that bad? Oh my gosh. And they're on their phones and they're talking to each other, and I'm losing control of my class. And finally someone raised their hand. They said, we're having a major fire. Can you please pull the internet up? And it was because they were getting Twitter feeds and their friends were messaging each other. And the future of marketing, the next event, we're going to be at, this is the future. And Twitter is huge because you can tweet here. You guys are probably, Graham and I know where we tweet all the time. And so there are different ways to get the word out. And yeah, in marketing, we are in the business of making sales. We have to pay the bills. But if you put all of the pieces of the puzzle together and you serve and support, then you can sell. So in the name of keeping this as simple and digestible as possible, as we look at the complexity of social media and what's Facebook all about, does it really build business? I can tell you true examples of organizations that can quantify their efforts for social media. When I was teaching social media in San Francisco for Berkeley, I was going up the elevator, and the little newsreel in the elevator in the building said that Dell Computers had attributed $3 million in sales to Twitter. So there are quantifiable pieces. Our website traffic, we get a ton from Facebook and Twitter, and that's because we have members of the team, all of us, getting the word out. We have clients that we can quantify that. But ultimately, the 3 pieces of the puzzle and how social media serves businesses, it's communication, because yes, we have to get the word out, and we don't just have to write the content. We can blog it, we can tweet it, we can video it. Photos, a picture says 1,000 words. Also, it's a big collaboration thing. Any of you guys watching Mad Men? I'm always trying to find groupies. Okay, you are my fellow cool people. I'll see you afterwards. We'll go talk about it. Okay, Mad Men's a show on American movie classics. It's about advertising in the 1960s, back in the days where big ad budgets meant business success, and you could have a multi-million-dollar budget, you created a jingle, you had a beautiful ad, and voila, you were selling bleach and pantyhose and whatever you can imagine. Doesn't work that way anymore. Now, small business owners, I always tell people, our team spends a lot of time working at home in our pajamas, and it doesn't matter. We don't need to go to the office. It's a matter of what we do and the quality of the work. We don't have to be, kind of doing things that aren't necessarily productive to the bottom line, but it's all about collaboration these days. Push marketing, here's our product, here's our jingle, push, push, push. Now it's pulling. We go to the search engines. 90% of people still start with a search engine first to find products, services, or information. And now when you're doing search engine marketing, you're finding, I use Amelia as an example when I speak at conferences, and I pull her profile up, I Google her name, it's her LinkedIn profile, it's her Twitter profile, it's her Web Marketing Therapy blog post, it's her Flickr photos. This is TWD, and that stands for Total Web Domination. And so the other Amelia Doers, it's a total bummer for them because it's all about Amelia. But you see business owners, and before you hire an organization, you're going to Google their name. You're going to Google the founders of the company, and business owners are actually using the web as a tool to market themselves. But it's collaborating where it's now pulling, so you're pulling in folks through searches, but you can connect with them, you can read their blog, you can kind of get to know what they're all about and understand their values, get a feel for their voice, and see what kind of value there is for you. But also, you can have a conversation back and forth. There are people we've never met that are friends of ours through LinkedIn and follow us on Twitter, and we're having this back and forth, this two-way thing. And so businesses no longer have to be the big entity, and it's kind of us versus them. The business owners, big business, small business, can get right down to the level of their clients and go, hey, let's talk. Case in point, any of you guys use Plaxo? Cool. I had kind of one too many of my old cronies back in the startup years, like from ValueClick and CallWave at companies I used to be at, kind of projecting the responsibility onto me to update their address books. And I got mad, and so I went onto Twitter, and I'm like, if I get one more Plaxo request, I'm going to lose it. The director of marketing had emailed me within 30 minutes, tweeted me, found my website, went to our help submission form, was trying to reach out to me to see if there were any questions he could answer, and I was really impressed. And this guy was on Twitter. This wasn't the assistant to the director of marketing. This was the director of marketing scouring Twitter to see what was being said about his organization. Any of you guys ever done focus groups? I'm seeing heads nod. Remember how much those things cost? Yeah. Please use Twitter. Please use Facebook. Go to Google and go to Google Alerts and put your company name in, put your competitor's name in, put your name in, and please get free research. It's going to be authentic research versus someone going, I think this is what the person who's paying me to be here wants me to say. Get the real deal scoop. So the collaboration's incredible, and the last piece of the social media puzzle is entertainment. We do what we do because it's fun and enjoyable, and it doesn't have to be silly, goofy, you don't have to have funny cartoons, but if your blog is enjoyable to read, the CEO of, there's CEOs of organizations that have blogs that are just really nice to read, and you're going to go to them for the source of information. So if you can make your marketing entertaining, you will win. I love this example. Michael Rosbrook is the CEO of Tax Resolution Services. Any of you are in trouble with the IRS? This is your guy. He is the least likely example of someone that you would think would be a social media maven. He's on Twitter, he's on LinkedIn, he's on Facebook, he has a Facebook profile page, he has tax groupies. I mean, this guy, but he educates. And in his industry, where people are really freaking out and they're Googling and trying to find the right source of info, they get to trust him and they get to know him through his authentic content. And he's been featured in the media as a business leader who uses Twitter. And he's the least likely resource. I remember sitting in his office and teaching him how to use WordPress, and he's come a long way. And there he is. There's Michael Rosbrook, Weblebrity. So I searched his name. There's his website. His blog is second. An interview he did for the media was third. Blog Talk Radio, another form of social media. If you guys don't want to write, you can speak your content. You can talk it. And another blogger, Wandering Tax Pro. He's got a little cyber connection going on with another guy that blogs about him and repurposes his content. Facebook is next, and Twitter's coming up. Easing Articles, article marketing. This guy, when people search him, they're like, whoa, this guy's a rock star, okay? So this is stuff that you can use. And this was just kind of a fun example. So Valentine's Day last year, Amelia and I are launching web marketing therapy, and I said, let's do our top 10 marketing man crushes. And she's like, what? And I said, yeah, no, seriously. Like, we always talk about how we love Seth Godin and David Merriman Scott, who wrote The New Rules of Marketing and PR, a book I highly recommend. And so Amelia wrote, she collaborated with the team. We all got our top 10 marketing man crushes. Sorry, Jacques, you did not make the list. Maybe next year, though. Next year. So we did our top 10 marketing man crushes. And just kind of for fun, we have to learn how to use sites like Squidoo, which is Seth Godin created. It's a big content collaboration tool. So we learned how to use it, and we learned it on ourselves just to sell it and teach our clients how to use it. So I go to David Merriman Scott, who's the author of The New Rules of Marketing and PR, and I said, hey, the Wild Web Women have nominated you as a top 10 marketing man crush. He tweets it. We go to Guy at Kawasaki and, hey, you've been nominated as one of the top 10 marketing man crushes. Okay, he wanted to win. This guy, he tweets like every 2 minutes. I don't know if any of you follow him on Twitter. I think he has 20 Twitter employees working for him. But there's a little healthy competition. But this is where the communication, collaboration, and at the end of the Squidoo article, and you can Google top 10 marketing man crushes. There's a little voting thing at the bottom. It was the outreach. It wasn't the article. I mean, the article's brilliant, but Amelia wrote it. I can say that. The article's brilliant. But the Twitter was what took it from being, oh, that's pretty clever, to this kind of Insta sensation. We were number 7 in the business section of Squidoo for quite some time, and so just kind of a fun example of how it works. And of course, it was entertaining. It was fun and funny. So the analogy of the evening: you are Batman, social media, all this web marketing work, it's Robin. Is it going to make you money in your sleep? Probably not. You know, sorry, it doesn't work that way. Marketing requires work, requires management, brain cells, responsibility. But this is your supporting cast member. You do what you do best. Let tools like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube continue to take the work that you're doing and message it out. If you did a charity event, blog about it. If you're blogging about it, tweet about it. It's kind of like pizza and beer. They go hand in hand. Blogging and Twitter, they go hand in hand. I want you guys to remember this stuff. So think of it that way, and really start to get the word out. And those of you that are kind of interested and you're still, if I get you guys a little addicted to this stuff, go to Web Marketing Therapy. We treat addiction, and you can go to the blog, and there's a ton of free content. And it's produced by multiple experts throughout our team. And with social media, it's communication, it's collaboration, and it's entertainment. And you know what? Tough economic times, let's have a little bit of fun and start to connect with people and get into the hearts and minds.